everybody, it's CJ Fox. Today I'm going to show you guys my second locomotive I ever got. And as you can see in the title, this here is my HO scale F40PH in Amtrak's Phase 2 color scheme. I've had this locomotive just as long as the 060 switcher that you saw in the previous video. And this one is made by, I believe, Lifelike. Lifelike, they're okay. They're kind of like in the same ballpark as Bachmann, and this one has actually been very reliable to me. And did, of course, when I initially got it, it would stutter a lot. But it turns out that even though this thing hasn't ran in a very long time, I did do some maintenance, general maintenance, by oiling up the gears in the, because this only has the drive. The motor's in the rear, and the drive wheels are, of course, they're plastic with rubber tires on them. So it does get a lot of traction. It can pull quite a bit, actually. And these are obviously the wheels that pick up the power from the rails. And I did clean these up a little bit. They should work fairly good. And if I had to figure of when this model was made, I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure somebody can correct me in the comments, but I believe this model came from probably the late 80s or early 90s, based on the detail. And speaking of which, of detail, I did pick out the rims of the windshield and the number plates, which there's nothing in there, and the headlight. I picked it out in a silver Sharpie marker, and that's held up pretty well. Same goes for the top. I painted out the exhaust and the cooling fans and the radiator fans. Flash radiator fans, excuse me. Back end, I did pick out the chain right there in silver. And this used to have those hook couplers, so I gave it a Bachmann knuckle coupler. But I might convert this into a KD again sometime in the future when I get more KDs. So, with that out of the way, little history. It turns out the F40PH ran with Amtrak apparently from the 1970s all the way to the 1990s, and that's when you saw these locomotives out on the rail. This one being in Phase 2 paint scheme, and I believe these, I'm not sure if these ever came with Phase 1, but I do know that these, of course, came in Phase 2, which you see here, and also in Phase 3, which in another video I will showcase my Phase 3 F40PH, which is made by a different model train manufacturer. So, with that put aside, let's get this out on the rail and see how it goes. Alright, it's up on the track, and it's currently going to be pulling three passenger cars. Two of them are regular passenger coaches with the Phase 1 paint scheme, and the rear is, I believe, is a Phase 4 paint scheme, and these are all Athearn, these are all Athearn's passenger cars. So let's fire this up, and here it goes. It's a little noisy, as you can hear. That's because it's old, and I believe it uses similar drivetrain to what Bachmann has. And it does indeed have a pancake motor, which aren't exactly the best, but this one that wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, I want to apologize about that. Normally a derailment at that magnitude never really happens. So anyway, this locomotive has been very reliable for me. With just some basic maintenance that I've done recently, now it's currently running better and better. But I do notice that that section right front where that weight Honda Accord is, that it tends to slow down a little bit. That could be of how the track is circulating electricity, but it's likely due to probably dirty track, which, yeah, I would assume it's probably dirty track. Anyhow, it's pulling just fine, and believe it or not, I have, these are just 3 of my Amtrak cars that I currently own, and I own a whole consist. I mean, if I had to figure, I own about probably 15 individual passenger cars or something like that, which includes a dome car. Let's see here, dome car, diner car, baggage car, mail car. You name it, I pretty much got it. Also including sleepers. But yeah, I did once test all those cars, and this thing can pull all of them. All thanks really to those traction tires that give it all the, well, traction it needs. So yeah, this locomotive has been fantastic for me, and it's considered my very first diesel locomotive I ever got. So yeah, this has been CJ Fox, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Mwah, mwah.